I love the culture that welcomes chicks notes, children born out of wedlock. Howdy, everyone. Welcome to the channel. I am Theology Matters, Eli, and for my local Okies, The Anomaly. And this is a new segment that we're doing where I take the stories from the other corporate conservative pundits that they're peddling, whether that be on Twitter or their channels, and give my take. This is Suited Opinions. Okay, Dave. So we got the story. The story is, if you did not check the headline, is that Elon Musk is another father. 5 months late that we are aware of it, though. So on Friday, on Friday, the conservative MAGA influencer Ashley said Clair broke news of the recent birth of her child over 5 months ago that Elon is supposedly the father to. This is her second child. She is currently, I believe, unmarried. So very interesting, because Elon's having another kid, which we didn't really know. This brings him now into four different baby mamas and 13 kids. Why? That's a lot. Either way, so this information spawned out because supposedly there was a news agency or a news outlet that was trying to figure it out from Ashley, and she just cut right to the chase. But either way, many conservative pundits have been congratulating her over the new baby. As you can see, some prominence of Lila Rose and Jack Posobiec, and then we continue on. We got Cat Turd, which of course he did, and Srvanovich. However, this isn't the win that we should be taking from it. Yeah, for MAGA, we are taking L's. For this is not the victory that we all want to seem it as. So, before we begin, a little disclaimer. Because of the fact that this discussion is very akin to how we talk about with IVF, because that's what people are bringing in the arguments, the child, I'd like to mention, has no fault for being born. So, let's cut that right to the chase. The child is completely innocent. All this that I will be discussing briefly is onto Ashley and her conservative acts slash supporters slash morals that she was supposedly peddling, and those who were supposed to be peddling the same. Because the child has a right to life. It's the same with the IVF, where the IVF procedure is the problem, but the child itself is not necessarily evil or considered a monster because of the fact that he was born via different circumstances than a natural conception method. So I think that is it for disclaimer. So first, a lot of people are saying it's a win. No, she's an unwedded mother with I think now single still. I think single when I was doing my research. If not, I think there was one guy and then there's no guy. Um, but it's weird because a lot of people, for some reason, are making this about, well, she chose life. Weird that that's the defense to this action of, well, she chose life, but that's not necessarily what we're talking about. And she probably knows some of the stuff. So this isn't a abortion talk. I don't know why people would be talking about abortion on this. So because she chose the pregnancy slash the sex, if Elon's keeping up with how he does with everything else, IVF, which is kind of funny that I mentioned it before. So she either agreed to the treatments, which I'm pretty sure IVF is a long treatment. I think you have to shove in needles and whatever into your ass and whatnot. But either way, she should have also known that Musk was probably not going to settle down. He had 3 other people. I think it was a SpaceX person. There was his ex-wife, Grimes, and then someone else, which I completely forgot, but I know there's another. So, anyways, but it's interesting because some of her defenders. So we're going to not click on that vid because that's the wrong slide. So CJ Pearson, this tweet was kind of intriguing. He claims that the pious, more or less, he claims that the pious weirdos don't value life because of how it was conceived, which again is not the problem. What CJ is failing to see is that the method was the problem, and that was the conception. Like, the conception happened, that's one thing, but it was the lead up to the conception that is the issue there. And that is where a lot of conservative pundits and very much Christian slash so-called pious, if we're really being that aggressive, are talking into there. Because yes, the conservative position, which yeah, conservative, definitely with a like very conservative, that every life is a blessing, regardless of how it's conceived, but the conception is still a point of concern because every life is important, but not every life should have been made. As in the IVF, we are not supposed to be playing as God. We should not be using life for it denigrates life into meaning nothing. Um and furthermore, we have another tweet from Matt Gates who writes that people who are attacking or talking about the situation are just sad and lonely. He's kind of half true. I'm lonely. I'm not really sad. I am a little lonely. I don't have anyone either. I have my parents and a dog. That's good enough. But that's good enough. But like, yeah, obviously I don't have a girl, but I'm okay with that. I don't need a Jew with another kid. And I don't say that to be anti-Semitic. I say that to be factual. That's just what she was. Excuse me. And people, if he says leave them alone, mind your own business, why did she make it our business by posting the tweet? No one cared. No one knew. And quite honestly, why would we? Okay, Elon had another kid, we wouldn't probably have thought about it much. No one would have cared that she had another kid either. We kinda care that she had a kid out of wedlock again, but we kinda it's kind of with, let me say that. So yeah, let me tuck that in. So and furthermore, Matt was indicating that the kid will have the best genetics, which I didn't realize, yeah, dependent on because there's kind of 2 histories in Gen Z. There's the normie history and the the history, dependent on, who you're talking to. But even if we go with the normie, but assuming that we went the normie history, best genetics, I'm sorry, when did we become Hitler? When did we want to create the Aryan race? So, which is kind of funny coming from a slight German. So anyways, furthermore, there was other people, which I don't really have a screenshot. They wanted to clamor on either it was, well, have you had sex? Which for some reason disavows the fact of the natural family for some reason that in failing to be living an ideal somehow breaks the rules slash structure of the nuclear family that no one should be trying to live up to those. And then the other one was defending of Trump, which, let's be fair, some of us don't exactly like that Trump is a little, um, trying to think of a better word, loose with his ladies. For crying out loud, he's on his third marriage with Melania. Some people don't actually like that. And even more if you were gonna say, well, you voted for him because I did vote for him. Yeah, because it was either that or Kamala. What do you want her back? And if you want to say, well, you shouldn't vote, well, to be fair, in Oklahoma, I probably didn't have to. I probably could, and it would have been fine. Uh, but like, do you not want me to engage in the civic process then? So, anyways, So that's practically all that I can say from this because most of it's pretty much just that is the one thing. Because in the end, so getting into endgame, not a closer because the closers are for real vids. This is suited opinions, so it's endgame. So in the end game, the conservatives really should be focusing on making one thing: a government and land slash place and culture that should be able to facilitate the growth and maintenance of the nuclear family. And the nuclear family being a man, a woman, and children. And I say man and woman because we're not doing any of this Dave Rubin crap. Oh, sorry. Hold on. It wasn't crap. Sorry, I can't say the word that was in my head, and then I can't come up with a synonym. So, we're not dealing with any of this Dave Rubin human trafficking, more or less. Human trafficking in quotes because I probably could get hit for something for reasons, which is so in tuned. Anyways, but it also requires the mother and father to be under one roof and to be married. That is the cornerstone of practically how we can save America is with the nuclear family. And without the nuclear family, we're going to be exactly where we are still. And that is what a lot of conservatives and even are going to have to understand is that the nuclear family is the only way to get out of the hellhole that we've dug ourselves into. Um, and conservatives are gonna have to just be okay with defending this ideal. Now, sometimes, like, and I'm not saying that, humans don't happen. Like, Ashley has another kid. I don't know how she has the kid, but things happen and guys take advantage or people let their guards down and that was it. And like the Trojans, or how the Trojan Greeks got in with the Trojan horse, things happened. We're not I think we can be a little merciful in those situations, but when it is such intentional this time around, yeah, it's a little bit of a issue. So, and again, the ideal is the ideal, and obviously many conform to that ideal, but there are going to be some where not exactly copy and paste, but definitely mirroring close, if not exact. So, anyways, that is going to do for suited opinions. So I will see you all in the next video. Bye.